For sure. Welcome to another edition of the Shout Out to You show. This is season 2.
Season two.
For
I didn't know
sure.
the first season ended.
We got, we got sound effects now. We
Oh,
got
okay.
sound
I
effects
heard that.
now.
That
we
was so
we
natural. I
upgrading
didn't
out
even think
here.
about it.
This is season 2 of the show. I got my guy Daniel. Trey is not going to be with us today. He just welcomed a newborn baby girl, so clap it up for him again. So he won't be with us this time, but next time he'll join us. And I know he's going to be mad. He's missing this topic because we're going to talk this interesting list that came up on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and it was the 50 worst rappers. Now, there's some people that should be on this list. There's some people that shouldn't be on this list, but we are going to go through it. But before we do that, Daniel, how you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm hanging in there. I'm feeling good. It's been a long time I've been able to say that. Usually I come on and I'm like, oh, I'm tired of this, that. And I feel pretty good right now.
All right, we're gonna take advantage of that because but I don't. Yeah, I'm here, y'all. No, we gonna talk about it. So we gonna talk about this list. Now I looked at the list. I sent over the list, and we agreed on some things, and we disagreed on some things. But I figured we just bring it up, and we gonna jump right into it, so we don't waste no time because there's too many people on this list. So let's go ahead and just add this. So this right here is the 50 worst rappers to whoever this person is. Now, looking at this list, at at number one, at number hold on. At number one, we have Magoo. Do you know who Magoo is?
So let's do a little preface here. I'm about to show my ass and prove that I probably don't know as much about hip hop as I'd like to think I do. Because there's definitely some people I do not know. And if you asked me if I knew who Magoo was, I would have said that old man cartoon. So no, I don't know who Magoo is. I apologize to Magoo.
Stop it. Get some help.
Okay. All right. This is you playing with the soundboard. Now I know what's going on. This is what season two is about.
We on new things out here. We on new things.
All right,
Magoo.
new things.
Uh,
Straight from
Magoo is
Texas with the
if
language.
I get this wrong, Magoo is from Magoo and Timbaland. They used to have some rap songs back in the 90s, early 2000s. He used to rap like honestly, to me, he kind of rapped like a cartoon character.
Okay, when you said Timberland, that sparked some memory. I might have heard a track and just didn't remember it.
Yeah, I mean his career didn't really do anything after that, but he has some features on some Timbaland and Missy songs. And who do he sound like? This might be disrespectful, so I'm sorry, Magoo. I know you're never gonna listen to this, but it kind of sounds like a version of Porky Pig. Uh,
Oh wow.
yeah, he used to rap on some like that's how he used to rap, and I was like, oh no. Nah. But he had one song. I don't remember the song at the top of the dome. But there's one song that he was a part of. I don't think he's like the worst of all time though. But they
I
did put this
mean,
person at number one.
I mean, if he's on a track that Timberland produced, I mean, I feel like Timberland is vouching for him to some degree. Can't be. I mean, maybe it was just like a time and place because a lot of people did like stuff that's kind of like a gimmick, you know. But based on what you just said,
He just sounded like a Looney Tunes character when it came down to some of the stuff. So I can see how he's on this list, but I don't see him as number one.
okay, well, I'm gonna have to check him out, and who knows? I'm gonna come back on the next episode and be like, Magoo's a secret genius. You guys just don't understand. But
What do you,
what?
that's what he sounds like. Honestly, I'll probably send you a song afterwards so you can see what he sounds like. Like that exact song is like, oh, come on now. I think that Blueface. But before we go into like the list itself, who do you think that's on this list that you're like, yo, this person shouldn't be on this list? I got one that's like looking at me right now.
So the one that jumped out immediately when you sent us this list was probably Earl Sweatshirt.
Okay.
I mean, I can't say. Well, I mean, he's way down there, so we'll get to him eventually. But that's the one that popped out like immediately. You want me to name some other ones?
Go for it.
Okay, obviously Ludacris should not be on this
Mhm.
list. That's egregious. And what was the other one that also caught my eye that I was surprised to see him on here? Because there's some people that it's not like when you say worst, you really meaning something extra negative. And there's some people that just kind of fell off. I wouldn't say
Yeah,
worst. So yeah, so yeah, I don't want to like keep going down the list because there's at least three or four more where I'm like they just kind of fell off. They never really like were bad, you know?
sure. Ludacris is absolutely, absolutely ridiculous. Like who like how you gonna put Ludacris on this list? Ludacris has a crazy body of work. Like, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
his if you're saying his songs now, I mean, I don't hear anything, but like looking at his body of work, like, come on now, Southern Hospitality, Chicken and Beer, like you can't listen to his discography and be like, yo, Ludacris is trash.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people where it's like when they first came out, especially like their initial run was crazy, and Ludacris is one of those people. So even if you say he got progressively worse, which I think is, a fair criticism, I don't think that's like messed up to say. He's never been bad in the first place. And again, as you stated with this like first work, it's like it's like if I would put like Ludacris and Nelly in the same box, where when
Fair.
their first like two or three albums or whatever, or at least my uh, exposure to them, being like because I didn't like buy their albums when I was like in middle school or whatever. I just heard whatever came on the radio, but it seemed like for like 2 or 3 years straight they were unstoppable. And even though these are like radio songs, like they were so entertaining, and you could tell like the rhyme schemes were there. Like initial Ludacris and initial Nelly is like they're rhyming not just the very last word, like they're pretty good, consistent. And then you could just say like later on they kind of just got more into like not I don't want to say pop rap, but you know what I mean, kind of got a
Yeah.
little bit more of a mainstream feel to it. Um, you know, so that's their only criticism I would say of their trajectory. But yeah, initial Ludacris first couple albums, especially to put them on 50 worst rappers is just like that's so insulting. To me, it means they've never heard of any Ludacris song prior to the
Facts.
last 2 or 3 years or something. Which that's the only time you could put them in a bad box. But even then, it's just people probably aren't listening to Ludacris like that no more.
Facts. I think the only album that I know somebody said they didn't like was it Word of Mouth or is it Battle of the Sexes?
If you were to question me with me not having a good recollection of the album names, I feel like Word of Mouth is one of his first two albums, right?
I think it's one of his first few. But
It's in the first
I'm
three, I feel like, for sure.
just I remember somebody saying that they didn't think Ludacris can actually like rap about like some serious things. And I think in one of the albums he took that change of pace and the album commercially didn't do good because it's not what people wanted. So I can see them saying like that wasn't his best album. But even if we talked about that, like he has some like S tier kind of work. So I'm not really putting him on this list for sure. I mean, there's some people on here who like absolutely deserve it. And this having
Yeah.
his name next to that list is kind of disrespectful on some like
Yeah. I mean, I don't even remember someone like did some sort of diss on Ludacris. This happened in the last few years, and Ludacris recorded like a little rap diss against them, like on an Instagram video or something. Do you remember this?
think so.
So, like, whoever made this list, I'm like, that's all they saw. Just one video of him on Instagram, just kind of doing some little freestyle that he clearly pre-wrote, and it wasn't like super intricate. It was pretty straightforward. I don't remember who it was against, but I do remember seeing it and being like, all right, well, this is good enough, but to qualify as a diss. But it wasn't anything that like
Yeah.
you didn't listen to it and go, oh, that's bars right there.
They
So.
probably sick of seeing him on Fast and Furious, and that's why they did him dirty. They did him dirty because I was like, nah, he don't deserve to be on this list. But some
But
people who do deserve to be on this list. Oh, you gonna say something?
well, I was gonna say maybe that's the same whoever made this list, same thing. They see him in the movies and they don't take him seriously from like
True.
because it's like you saw uh uh Are We There Yet? And you're like, Ice Cube's a bad rapper. Like you didn't base it on anything outside of a goofy movie you saw or something.
You know what that reminds me of? Boondocks. Did you watch Boondocks?
The cartoon?
Yeah.
I've seen I don't know, a handful of episodes at most. I wasn't allowed to watch stuff like that when I was younger, man. And we didn't
Yeah.
have cable neither. So I'm aware
On
of some basic stuff, but go ahead.
on Boondocks, there's this episode of this guy, Gangstalicious, and it's funny because they're tying it in today's world. They're tying Gangstalicious with P Diddy, which is just absolutely insane.
Is Gangstalicious the one when the kids do the homie?
Yeah.
Do the homie. Okay, I've at least seen
Oh.
that.
Homies over hoes, absolutely.
Okay.
So in one of the episodes, Riley talks to him. He's like freaking out, but he's like talking to him like, "Who inspired you?" Whatever. And he was talking about Ice Cube, and Gangstalicious said Ice Cube was the reason why he started rapping. And Riley says, "Ice Cube? Then that make family movies?" So it reminds me what you just said. Because it's like you're not rapping anymore. So it's like Ice Cube, dude. Are we there yet? Like that dude, like so it's like Ludacris, Fast X Ludacris, that
Yeah.
the nerd Ludacris, and so I can see it. I can see it. He still don't belong on his list. I mean, he's sitting next to who was on his list? Lil Pump. Like that's crazy.
That Lil Pump should be on this list, or that
It's crazy that Ludacris is next to Lil Pump on this list.
Oh, okay.
That's absolutely insane. Because Lil Pump is super duper trash.
Yeah, pretty much.
Super duper trash. Disrespectful. Don't put them together. That's craziness.
The best I've ever seen a Lil Pump wasn't even him rapping. It was him in like a vest with his hair real straight in an interview. It was just like speaking like he was really well spoken and stuff. And he was just like, yeah, I used to pretend to be dumb to make rap music or whatever. And he's like all like well put together now or something. But his look was insane with his chest out with the hair. You seen that with his hair all straight?
I haven't seen it, but I need to see that now.
Like
now I need to see
it
that.
Might be a wig, like it's like a bob. It looks like
it's not a bob, though.
I'm telling you, man, it's funny.
That's a bob. That's wild. Blueface is on this list. You know what? Yeah, Blueface can be on this list.
Nah, for sure. And not even to like hate on him just because of the bad rapping. I mean, but it has like it's like he's going out of his way to not be on the beat, and that's not like an original critique. I don't know, people have said that before. And if you do it a certain way, you can like have like a certain, I don't know what to call it, like kind of like a certain swag or something, or a style that's just so unique, but it's still like really, really rough to the point where it's almost like, damn, I don't even know if this guy hears the music when he did this. But he had a couple. What did he really have? Just like one hit?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what the hit is. Yeah, he definitely does. What's the Blueface song?
It's like Bust Down, Tatiana.
But yeah,
something like that. I don't remember exactly how it goes. The song is escaping me, but something like that.
And after that, the only thing we know about Blueface is the whole Krishan thing, and that's no bueno. Yeah. That's no bueno. Yeah. I see Lil Yachty's on here. Do you think I mean, he's gotten better.
Yeah. I remember he had that song where he had a J. Cole verse on there.
Secret Recipe.
Yeah. And it's like, it's obviously much better than anything he's really done prior in terms of like, if we're just talking from a technical perspective.
Sure.
But it does seem like someone who's like trying to do and like is not really hitting the mark fully, but he's like he's close enough. Like I'm not gonna hate on Lil Yachty because Lil Yachty is not someone that you listen to for the technical. It's more just like he's having a good time. Songs like was it the one with Kyle, like I Spy and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's true.
Or Broccoli. Stuff like that where it's just kind of like more mellow and it's like a vibe. You don't throw on Lil Yachty to hear bars or like a real
bars.
Intricate rhymes or anything like that.
He's gotten way better. A lot of his songs have gotten better. His metaphors have gotten better because I remember back in the day, like he used to kind of just rap stuff to rhyme, and it's just like, hey man, that don't make sense. Like he said something like blow 'em out like a cello or something like that, and everybody's like, a cello, brother. That doesn't make no sense. So yeah,
Yeah, I think that was on the Lil Boat mixtape, right?
Yep.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, I remember that.
He has some songs that is some really good songs that like are okay, and then some songs I'm just like, hey yo, I wouldn't put him number 3 though. Number 3 is kind of high. Like if he's not going to be in anybody's top 50 greatest rappers.
Damn.
But
I
number 3 is kind of high.
I didn't even think about the list being in order. I was just thinking, here's 50 bad rappers. Now I'm like, oh, we actually are going in order. Like that makes this list even more egregious when you see some of the names coming up. But go ahead.
True, because maybe it's not top 50. Maybe it is just 50. But if it is top 50, number 3 is kind of harsh. He's not third worst.
No, not even close. Especially because you would think the person that puts Ludacris on this list would like Lil Yachty.
For sure. That's a great point. For sure. Because I'm looking at I see Bone Crusher on here. Hey, Bone Crusher had one song that apparently he stole. And so he Never Scared. Apparently he featured on another person's song, which was the same concept, same thing, same beat. And he rapped on it as a feature, took the song, made it his own, and then they just got money off it. And I guess the person sued, and they showed that they had the version first, and so he can't play this song anywhere. That's why you don't hear it on the radio anymore, and he cannot perform this song legally.
Wow, I did not know that, and that's crazy to me because I'm gonna guess this was either 2004 Madden had that song on there. Remember they had the Madden remix of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, damn, was that 2004 or 2007? I think 2004. But yeah, that's wild to me that he made it that far, all the way to getting because when a song was on Madden, that was a pretty good song.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really miss even the rock music because I don't really like rock music that much, but even the rock music, I was like everything pretty much slapped on the Madden tracks for the most part.
Hey, there's a video that's circling around because he went on like I want to say Genius. It was either Genius or something. And they asked him how he came up with that hit, and he talked about how like he just went to the studio and he was just feeling it and all this other stuff. And then it came out that he stole it, and I was like, "Hey man, you didn't have to do all that."
Oh wow! So this may have come out more recently.
Yeah. So
okay.
it don't look good for him. So Bone Crusher being on this list, my guy. As much as we love Never Scared, you can't be just stealing people's songs, bro. You on this list for sure.
Damn. Well, I'm gonna burn my copy of Madden then.
Who else they got in there? Gutta Gutta. Hey, no one listens to Gutta Gutta. I'm not gonna hold you. Unless you probably from where he's at, no one really listens to Gutta Gutta. I'm not gonna hold you.
No, but let's go ahead and say the quiet part out loud because I'm not sure 100% sure if it was Gutta Gutta, but who was the one who has the wild verse on All the Girls in the World? That song. Is that Gutta Gutta? No.
Is that Gutta Gutta? Or is it that
No Stevie Wonder? Because I got a grocery bag.
Is that grocery?
Who's the one who we know what we're not gonna say out loud? I exchange V cards and
yeah. Was that Gutta Gutta or was that why does that make me think of a different name?
The Holler at Me Miley Cyrus. Who said that?
Mac Man.
It was Mac Man?
Mac Man. Is Mac Man on his list?
He should be just because of that.
He needs to be. Mac Man needs to be. And about a few years, holler at me, Miley Cyrus. Come on, brother. Yeah. Do better. Do better.
I mean, I exchanged V cards with the R words and all this. Like it's a
let's give him the first one of season 2. Let's give it to him. That's not what we're supposed to give it to him. My bad, y'all. We supposed to give. Hey, we still learning the soundboard. We're supposed to give him this.
That's for Mac Man.
First one of the season. First one of
Man.
the season. We're not doing that.
And it's funny too because like, we're not getting into like what's the word I'm looking for? People talk about like complain about things being politically correct or whatever.
Yeah.
Even at that time, you were like, dang.
That wasn't the verse.
Yeah.
That's probably top. Like if it, like, cause I'm being generous, because I don't want to place it because there's so many verses in my head that I can say like the top 100 worst verses of all time. That's one of them. That is one of them. And they somebody was talking about Corey Guns on what song was that with Lil Wayne? 6 foot?
6 foot, 7 foot, yeah.
Yeah. They were talking about how he said, "Word to my mama, I'm out of my lima bean. Don't want you to see the drama."
Yeah.
It's like y'all thought that was hard. This is one of the worst verses of all time. I was like, damn, I didn't think it was that bad when I first heard it, but yeah, I'm out of my lima bean is crazy.
I did remember when I like the very first time I heard the song being like, oh, okay, it's kind of cool, a lot of words, but like every subsequent listen, I probably would just skip the song at that point because he just ends the song, right? He's like the third
He
verse or
ends
something.
the song.
Yeah, that's where you skip. It kind of almost made me not like 6 foot, 7 foot that much because that was a way because I remember feeling like they were trying to recreate a Millie with that song.
For sure.
And it just did not have the same vibe to it. And Corey Guns his verse does kill it a little bit.
For sure. Before we move on, how do you feel about Lil Wayne not getting the Super Bowl?
It's funny because like I just it's like a two-part thing because one, I feel like dang, like how many more things is Kendrick gonna get out of winning this beat? Like he just like the winning never stops, to the point where I was like, damn, is he still gonna have this momentum going into it? Like, but I guess because in my head he performed at the Super Bowl yesterday. He was just with Dre and everybody. Like, so like I was kind of surprised, but I was like, damn, winning this beef really like, they're just looking at like, hey, he's on top right now. So they that's what but as far as him versus Lil Wayne or whatever, I didn't feel really no type of way because like Kendrick is a much more universally appealing artist, I feel like at this point. He's more accepted by the mainstream, especially like, winning Grammys and whatnot or whatever. And of course you can critique him negatively in that way as well, especially with I don't know, doing a Taylor Swift song or whatever. But yeah, and then recently what really and actually you might have sent me this. I don't know if it was you or if I just saw it randomly where someone was like, everyone complaining about Lil Wayne, like, think of this, and he just started doing like a Lil Wayne impression and it was just like unintelligible, and I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, yeah. And Lil Wayne has also said like out loud in interviews that he like forgets his own lyrics and he has to listen to his own songs before the show, which makes sense because he really just like the day he wrote that song was the day he recorded it, and that's it, so it's like respect, but also like for being like a polished artist for live performances, I understand why that would be like a concern on that stage. It's the most watched thing like every year, right?
Yep. And he doesn't, and like they were talking about how like he doesn't go to rehearsals. Like, and this is not the bash Wayne. Wayne's definitely one of my favorite artists. I wouldn't say I knew his whole catalog, but definitely Wayne's one of those people I can listen to for sure. Especially some of his newer albums, you can kind of hear more of the maturity in it. So Wayne's definitely like a great artist, but I can definitely see when it comes down to performance, you kind of want Kendrick over that. I agree with some folks that the Super Bowl has been in New Orleans multiple times, and that hasn't been the same outrage for him to perform then. Yeah. I do believe it's because Kendrick got it, and he's just, I mean, like you said, just he really came out this beef like on top. Like they said, Not Like Us is nominated for 5 Grammys. Like that's insane, and it just broke Old Town Road for number 1 for 21 weeks, 22 weeks, one of those things. So like for a diss track to be number 1 for that long, like that's crazy work. So I get it. I do feel like his video afterwards where he's like, I was hurt. I do feel like that was kind of weak in the sense of like he didn't say like I was hurt. I do understand what the process. Shout out to Kendrick and blah blah blah. Now he's just like I was hurt. I'll do better.
Yeah,
What, brother?
was.
What?
Well, I didn't like that either, but at the same time, like I always try to like think things through and try to like why would he say that? And I think he's got a lot of people in his ear, like kind of making him feel some type of way. Because I think I don't think he would have just came to that conclusion on his own. I think he's got people all around him going like it should have been you, and like so he didn't like come off mad, but he did kind of. It seemed like he wanted to represent his city, and more
Yeah,
so than just like say anything negative about Kendrick. But they got songs on each other's. They got features. I mean, I
sure.
know for sure Kendrick was on. Is it called Mona Lisa or something with
Yep.
of Carter 5. So they got at least, and also there's like I've seen videos of like Kendrick rapping along to Lil Wayne songs and stuff like that. So it's not like he doesn't respect them. So I think the obvious thing that's gonna happen, and it would be like wild if this did not happen, then everyone would be like, kind of, what the hell, Kendrick, if he doesn't have Wayne come on for like at least a quick feature or something.
Oh, for
I
sure. You
mean,
know he is.
he's got to. I mean, that would be like so dumb not to bring him out, even if it was just real quick or something. You know, it's not like I have him perform for 5 whole minutes or something, but at least a minute or two come out.
He's not gonna remember 5 minutes of song. He's not gonna remember 5 minutes of song. But yeah, for sure, come up and do like a song or two, and then go ahead and sit down,
She
brother. I
licked me like
appreciate
a popsicle. Oh,
Yeah, I think he's gonna come out. I think he's gonna perform. It's just crazy. Kendrick is just destroying. And if we get an album this year, oh my god, it's gonna be insane.
from Kendrick.
Yeah, I'm
That
pretty sure
would
something's coming out.
that would be pretty smart. Oh, I mean, or to drop it like right after the Super Bowl or something like that night.
Something. They
I
said
mean,
that, and it's another rumor because Drake has gotten his asked to do the Super Bowl multiple. That's funny. They said Drake has been asked to do the Super Bowl multiple times. Then like NFL exec said, no, we haven't asked him to do the Super Bowl. That's wild
why
behavior.
would that's
That's wild
not?
behavior.
That's no way that's true.
That's wild
But
behavior. But
why would he have said no?
we're gonna let because apparently he said no because Jay-Z was like boycotting something, so he was rocking with Jay-Z, and then it's whatever. Because if once Jay-Z got creative control, I mean, I'm pretty sure you could have been like, yo, like I turned it down, like I got you this time, blah blah. It's whatever. I'm not gonna pander to these Drake folks who just be believing whatever the Drake stimulus back, whatever. We're not gonna talk about you. I stop it. Like, let me
And I
do
saw
it one time.
somebody trying to tie. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go for it. What you gonna say?
They were trying to tie that Wayne is standing behind Drake on the diss stuff, and that's why Kendrick like's not gonna involve Wayne or something, which I think is just ridiculous to even imply.
Yeah, he's not gonna do that because if he does it, if he includes Wayne in, and it's just gonna be like, Wayne, how could you do that to your boy? How could you do that to him? So I mean, it is what it is. Apparently, they said Kendrick's gonna drop an album on Drake's birthday, which should be ultimately petty, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see about that. I don't know. About that. We'll see. Looking at some random names that are on here, I see Shawty Lowe's on here. Now, he's not the greatest rapper in the world. I mean, he got a few, maybe one song that's like an anthem for the gym. But yeah, he's on this list. And then Logic is on this list. You think Logic is trash?
I think with Logic, it's more of like, can you relate to him or not? And I feel like he's gone out of his way to put himself in this middle ground anyways.
For sure.
That I think that's part of the issue with Logic. And I know that's like a common thing for people to say like, okay, we get it, you're biracial or whatever. And it's like, stop getting hung up on this. But technically speaking, I've heard a few Logic sounds that were like impressive. He's not,
sure.
He's an extremely competent rapper. There's no one can say Logic can't rap. That would be like really insane to say. So this is like it's just like hating to put him on this list. But now we'll like put on Logic all the time, or like pretty much never. So I think there's like one song he did that he got like an Eminem feature that I might have listened to a few times.
Yeah,
and that's about it.
I think Logic's dope. I do think that listening to multiple songs of his, I do see that a common theme. Well, he kind of does this weird thing where he says kind of the same thing in a different song in a different way. And since like I'm one of those people who like I like to analyze lyrics or like hear, like you said earlier, hear the bars. Like I like to, if you said something, we're like, ooh, or that's the bars. Like that's fire. So when I'm listening to him, like a lot of times it kind of seems like it sounds dope, but he's rapping a lot of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, like, cause he on the feature like ISIS with Jordan Lucas, like he like the flow is dope. Like a few of his songs, like his flow is dope, his cadence is dope, the way he delivers is fire. But a few times it's kind of like, all right, man, I think you said this before. I'm good.
Yeah.
Next. But but Logic, I don't think he's trash. I do think that he's put himself in a bubble where he doesn't take criticism too well. And I can see why that's a problem because a lot of, like OGs, you could say, in the rap game don't really care for him. But like at the end of the day, like he has his fan base. He has a good flow. He can actually rap. If I was him, I wouldn't worry about these folks. Just do your music. Like you'll be fine. I don't think he's gonna get any more mainstream hits or anything like that. But like, just do you. I don't think he's like one of the worst. Absolutely not. If there was like a if there's like a Hall of Fame and then a Wall of Shame and then a Hall of Very Good, I think he'll be in the Hall of Very Good.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like I said, technically speaking, he checks every box. If you just want someone who could rap fast or come up with good rhyme schemes or whatever, there's nothing you can't critique him on that. So this 50 worst rappers list that they threw him on there, like I said, they just don't like him.
For sure.
Which is, again, you can just not like anybody for any reason, but to say worst rappers, if that's like the criteria for making this list, it don't make sense for Logic to be here.
For sure. I mean, I'm gonna throw a name on here that I'm gonna ask you to see if you know. Let's test your rap knowledge. Do you know who Black Tie is?
Black Tie. Damn, that sounds familiar. No, I don't think so.
So Black Tie is when Tyrese came out and said he was gonna be a rapper.
Damn.
He said he was
never heard that before ever.
He said he was gonna be a rapper. It was abysmal. I remember him on 106 in Park talking about this is a new version of me you guys haven't seen before. You know what it seemed like to me? It seemed like, music career was kind of fading. And he was like, I'm here. Don't forget about me. I'm gonna start doing something different. Yeah. And it didn't work out. It definitely didn't work out. Because you haven't heard it. You know what Black Tie is, and nobody else will. Trash.
Not even once. And again, I'm just old enough that, one, I didn't have cable during, like, especially you said he came out on 106 in Park. I never got to see the show myself, and this was like probably pre like LimeWire days and stuff. So prior to that, I didn't have access to a lot of stuff. So I definitely didn't even have an inkling that he could try to be a rapper.
That's great. I would actually, if this was, and I'm being super mean, if this was like 5 years ago, and I'm saying this live with wearing his merch, I'd have put Big Sean on this list 5 years ago, for sure. Because like for me, he didn't sound remotely interesting. He had some songs that were very popular, but just Big Sean didn't sound interested in his own music. Like just the way his cadence was, the way he was doing stuff.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, Big Sean, like, all right, brother. And like he was considered like one of the top 5 at his time when he was at his peak, like for sure.
Honestly, it didn't drive me crazy because I wasn't like offended or anything. But when people would say that Big Sean was in like the top five of like active rappers, like who's the five hottest top five type of talk, I was always shocked because I was always like, same thing. There's like a disconnect with Big Sean where I'm like, what is the appeal? Because like you said, he almost doesn't even sound excited to be rapping. And he did have some massive hits with other people, and outside of like Click with Kanye and Jay-Z, I think are both on there. Outside of like Click, I
Yeah.
can't think of a verse where he like sounded like he had a little energy to it, And even then, what did you say, Mercy?
Mercy, yeah. I'll say this, like when how people have like their ad libs or anything like that. It just when he would come in, oh god,
Yeah,
that even that didn't have any like energy to it. Like it was like, all right, Big Sean, go ahead and sit down. Like he had some major hits, like you said, but just none of it seemed like it was like I can put you in the top tier because it's like okay, you had some dope stuff, but I don't know about putting you in the top 5 and everything like that. But I will tell everybody this as I'm wearing his merch at this moment. His new album is actually really fire.
I've only heard the it was kind of like a more sincere song with like the POV from the baby.
Oh, for sure.
That was the only song that I heard that's like pretty new. And I don't know if maybe you even sent that or I saw it actually I think I saw it and then you sent it like the next day or something because it trended, it seemed like, on YouTube for a minute there. And I actually was like, okay, I actually like this. He seems like pretty passionate about this. It didn't have like I'm trying to be family oriented, like a phony thing. It seemed like he's loving life at that moment. Because there are people that try to make like family type of songs and it just don't really like probably one of the better people to do it that comes to mind, of course, because it's such an obvious because it's in the title, but like like with Kanye, like Family Matters and then like Hey Mama
Oh, for
and
sure.
stuff like that. Sometimes people try to make songs like that and I'm just like, it sounds so like forced.
Absolutely.
So
like that Trash Vultures that came out, and he had that one song saying, what was it? All you need is a husband. That's what he kept saying in one song. Like, my God, that album is so horrible.
I don't remember.
Horrible.
I don't remember what he kept repeating, but yeah, there was, and you know what? Kanye has done that as he's gotten like older or like I guess worse, where he'll like repeat lines, and I think like Wolves is the first time, or Life of Pablo, and like the final cut of like Wolves, like I think he repeats the same thing on the back end like multiple times, and it's like once you say something more than once and it didn't have like no double entendre or nothing to it, it like starts to just like feel super repetitive, and
Yeah, absolutely.
it's not fun. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
There's
like
some songs that jam like that, but not that type of song.
it's like those comedians that like they say a line and it didn't hit, so they repeat itself, and it's like, all right, man. Like women be shopping, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you heard me. Women be shopping, right? Yeah, we heard you the first time, but get to the punchline.
Yeah.
What are we here for? Like that's that. I mean, we're not gonna talk about Kanye right now. We're gonna leave that one alone. But trash. But yeah, the new Big Sean's actually fire. The song Precision is really dope, which is on the jersey, which is super fire. Like the album, like it seems like he finally put away trying to be a top 5 rapper, and he's just finally being himself, and he's just doing his own thing, his own flow, and just not doing all with all that pressure. And it came out perfectly good because everything else, like there's one song he did, what was it? Last night took a L, but tonight I bounced back. Whatever. Like that whole song was not even about taking an L and bouncing back. You were just talking about how great you are. Like, my G, like what are we doing? Like, get it together.
I don't remember the words, but I remember that song had like a nice little vibe to it. Like, and that applies to a lot of like his big hits. Is like there's nothing particularly memorable or interesting or whatever, but like they had a good beat, they had a good hook, Because he's definitely got dang, what's the one he's got? I think Drake and 2 Chainz is Blessed. Um,
Oh, Bless. Bless is another
um,
one. I don't
and
with you
then yeah, that one obviously hit. And honestly, E40 is so much more entertaining on that song.
for sure.
Um, but yeah, he's actually probably got a lot of hits to be honest. But yeah, I think also he got, I don't know if I want to say he like was like tainted himself with this, but like I know early on there was that whole like, Drake stole my super flow or whatever he called it.
Yeah, a
And
super
I
duper
felt,
flow or whatever it was called.
yeah, there you go. See, I didn't even remember the name, but
I don't
that
even think
like,
that's what it's called.
is that what he called it?
I don't
Superior
even know.
Literature. But the whole point is like I could kind of see what he was trying to say, but it's like I'm sitting here listening to both y'all, and I will give you that you're actually technically better than Drake, but Drake's just got more of like I don't know what to say, like a charisma or whatever, like
For sure.
something he draws you in more and than Big Sean does, at least for sure. Like you said, Big Sean sounds a little bored by his own, and I think maybe in Big Sean's head, he's like, oh, people think I'm like Mace or something, where I kind of like have this monotone thing, but like it's like I'm different. But it did, I don't know. Something about it it always didn't. It was like a disconnect for me. So I'm in the same boat as you, where I kind of felt always kind of like, what's up with Big Sean? He's something weird about him.
Yeah, like just so many hits. Not, I mean, he not a one hit wonder. Just like he has a good history of doing what he does. It just none of it was interesting. He's one of those like athletes that had a pretty decent career that nobody remembers.
Hmm.
And then in the end where they're like, okay, they put you in the Hall of Fame. We're just like, damn, he did all that. So it's like,
Yeah. Yep.
so it's like, all right,
It'll,
Big Sean, but this his new one is dope. So I'll give him that. His new one is dope. That's actually run through this list here. I see. Is that Lil B, the bass god? Don't disrespect.
yeah.
It is not the bass guy. I can't disrespect the bass. Um, they put YG on here. Do you think YG is trash?
No, but just like a lot of other people, it's just like if you aren't into certain types of music or certain genres or whatever, it is what it is. Because
Sure.
YG's probably got more of like, I don't want to call him like a gangster rapper, but it's kind of more in that territory, at least dipping over there. You wouldn't just say he's bad. You know what I mean?
For
That's
sure.
almost like if you're like in the '90s, you were like only listening to East Coast rap. Yeah, you're probably not gonna
Yeah.
listen to Snoop and Dre. It's just that's a different vibe.
I want to see who made this list because like you would have to be in different eras and times because like Plies had a really good run
Hmm.
of songs. I mean, he's not gonna give you he can't give you a verses. Like he can't give you like 20 songs or 10-song verses, but he got a few songs.
No, he can't. He can barely give you a one song versus unless T Pain's in the room with him.
Shout out to T-Pain. T-Pain legendary. But yeah, he got
Oh yeah,
Shawty, Bust It Baby.
yeah.
Uh I like Who Hotter Than Me, but that's not really a mainstream song people gonna remember unless you from where he's from.
I
Uh
remember it existed. I don't remember how it goes though.
what's
But
that
yeah,
other
he was
song?
hot for like at least a year or two.
Yeah, he has some good songs. I don't know about worse, but yeah, he has some good songs. Um who was French Montana? I mean French Montana, Trinidad James. Yeah, they on this list. They belong on this list.
Yeah, I've never really been able to get into French Montana at all, man. I've really, really struggled. And like for me, in my head, he's just like a skinny DJ Khaled, and I don't like I don't like DJ Khaled either. Like
French
there's some really good songs that DJ Khaled like produced or put out, and it's like, oh my god, if only DJ Khaled wasn't saying a word on this track, I'd love it so much more. Just him even introing
for
the song, I'm
sure.
like, damn, I got to sit through 15 seconds of this before the person I like starts.
Like the hold you down, that part where he's on is the cringiest part of that video. Like, my
Yeah.
God. Like, yeah, I mean Khaled as a rapper himself, because he tried to feature on his own stuff. Absolutely.
Oh,
Khaled is
definitely.
one of the top 50 worst rappers. And they say he don't even produce, but we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. He just put his producer tag on it. He don't really do anything, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, well, I don't know about actually producing, but I know that Lil Wayne shouted him out in that song. I knew Khaled when that boy was spinning records or something like that. So he might have at least put the song on.
21 Savage on here? I don't think 21 Savage is trash. 21 Savage does have a tone where it does sound like he doesn't care, like on a like a Big Sean type of thing. But for some reason, by his music, it kind of matches. Like 21 Savage sound like he don't care, but he'll kill you. And so it
Yeah,
kind of blends in. So I kind of like, okay, I kind of like makes sense why you talk like that, like for sure.
I mean, well, first of all, I'm in Atlanta, so 21 Savage, one of the best rappers of all time. Second, no, but in all seriousness, though, my first major, well, actually, the very first time I heard of 21 Savage was someone played a clip of this is when the don't what's her name, the Cash Me Outside girl first came out with that
Oh
video, and it
gosh.
was like the caption was like, "You hear 21 Savage one time, and then now you acting like her." Basically, was the gist of the meme or whatever. But so that was like the first time I saw his name. But my first exposure to him beyond maybe like Bank Account or whatever song hit right before this, but his feature on Post Malone's Rockstar
Okay.
is like the best verse he's done by a landslide. So much so that every time I hear something newer by him, I'm like not disappointed, but I'm like, damn, I saw what you did on that song. Do you remember his verse on
Yeah.
Rockstar?
Yeah.
It matches the song. It has melody that matches the hook and the verse. Like it's like one of the best features I've heard of like anyone doing a feature with Post Malone or just in general where like he matched the song so perfectly where I was like, damn. But then now when I just hear him kind of sounding like a little bit more bored on regular tracks, I'm like, man, I know what you're capable of. I really wish you would bring that energy all the
Yeah.
time. But he's not bad. He just he's in his own pocket. Like that's just his thing. He's making 21 Savage music.
I can put a bunch of songs from 21 Savage. I'm like, yo, these are dope. Especially because like I know his cadence. And probably from that double XL, aside from the occasional Lil Yachty song that comes in and more Lil Yachty songs with the feature he has, and then maybe a little, I don't really listen to Lil Uzi Vert like that anymore. He has some older songs that probably pop up. 21 Savage is probably like one of the only people that I probably listen to from that double XL still. Because I don't think anybody else. No, I don't really listen to anybody else out there. Like 21 Savage is probably the only person that kind of does his things. Even to his credit, when he was on that one album with Drake, when it was 21 Savage featuring Drake,
Mm-hmm.
uh Drake blended in with him. Like it's supposed to be a Drake joint. And like I just felt like it was more 21 Savage's vibe. Which again, like, 21 gave you false street cred. But at that point, like 21 Savage is not too bad. I wouldn't put him on 50. He's definitely top tier of the Hall of Very Good. He can't be, I wouldn't put him as the 50 greatest rappers, but definitely top tier of the Hall of Very Good. And I think Complex put him as like the best rapper alive last year, which was wild because I was it last year where Cole was killing all those features? Oh no, it probably was the year before that.
Yeah, I feel like it's more like 2 years ago, but he was. I mean, Cole's has been up until everything that happened with the beef and the Griffey.
Yeah.
He was on a crazy run with features, man. Like it was almost like every feature was just like amazing. So I would have. I mean, I don't know when that Complex article came out, but I would have definitely put Cole up there, at least top two or three.
I'm just looking at the list. I'm gonna run through it, and I want you to tell me trash or good. So if I'm sitting so close to the camera, I'm sorry.
All
I
right,
want you to tell me trash or good. So we said we don't know Magoo. Blueface,
pretty much trash. Yeah,
Lil Yachty.
is a vibe rapper, not trash.
Is that Stunner for Vegas? Is that what that says?
Stunner for Vegas, and I have no idea who that is.
Silk the Shaka, OG.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Isn't he just like from way back when. Like he's on when Snoop Dogg left Death Row and went to No Limit. I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
Suck the Shockers on one of his songs.
I think he's still
In
locked
fact,
up.
I think Mystical's on that song too.
Mystical. I mean, I don't even,
See, hey, now that's another guy who kind of falls into like what Blueface could be
for
if he
sure.
knew how to utilize his lack of a like pacing or like adhering to the beat in a way that like was entertaining. Because Mystical is like not on the beat, but he's so like he's like
Yeah.
stabbing and jumping in and out, and it's like so weird, but like it like kind of hooks you a little bit.
Hey, but if you
Sorry.
ever see him in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear. Did you see?
Damn.
Help the bear, okay?
Yeah. That's
JoJo Simmons is crazy. I haven't heard JoJo
I don't
Simmons
even know who that is. Who's JoJo Simmons?
from. You don't remember? You didn't have cable. Rev Run Son.
I only heard of Diggy rapping.
Yeah, JoJo's not good. His stuff is Diggy's is all right. JoJo's is not good whatsoever.
Yeah,
So
I
try.
remember hearing some song by Diggy and it was like confident. I don't remember it being bad. So JoJo must really not be good. All right, so he deserves to be here.
Yeah, he deserves to be here. G Herbo. I haven't really heard G Herbo.
Me neither. I've heard the name for sure. He's a West Coast guy, right?
I think he's from Chicago.
And well, I'm not gonna speak on someone I don't know.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't.
50 Tyson. Don't you dare disrespect 50 Tyson. All right. 50 Tyson is legendary. All right.
Yeah.
There'll be no 50 Tyson No, what? For 50 Tyson, real quick. Y'all not gonna disrespect 50 Tyson. All right. We're not gonna do that. All right. Lil B.
I remember real quick. I remember 50 Tyson was on Tosh.0.
You,
Do you remember that?
I ain't gonna lie, because I'm 50 Tyson. I'm from Northside Zone, Twin City, Minnesota. I'm a ball player. I was born to be a ball player. I was born to be a football player. That's why I be doing like athletic. You're not gonna disrespect 50 Tyson on this channel, okay?
All right.
There's be no 50 Tyson disrespect. Okay, we're not gonna talk about Lil B. That's Bay Area. We're not gonna do that. Who is this person? I don't even know who that is. What does that say? I-20, 120?
I believe it says I-20.
We don't know who that is.
Yeah,
OJ the Juice Man. What song does he do?
I'm like spacing on OJ because when I first read that, I was thinking, dang, now I'm forgetting his name. The other one with Juice in his name. Damn, he was on the Katy Perry song. Juicy J.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't know who OJ the Juice Man is. Sorry.
Now I'm like realizing I really don't know who OJ the Juice Man is. I've seen the name for sure.
It was Maddie B.
I don't know.
Right. Vanilla Ice.
This is a tough one because it's like if he's on this list, it's more of like a culture vulture thing because
sure
he's rapping as good as anybody else was at that time, right? Isn't this like
for sure?
As early? Wait, is this pre 1990 when Ice Ice Baby came out?
I want to say so. He was in the Ninja Turtle movie. I can't disrespect the Ninja Turtle movie.
Oh yeah. Oh dang, I forgot. Ninja rap. and he basically does some of the verse from Ice Ice Baby in there. I think he literally might say stop, collaborate, and listen in the Ninja rap song or something like that.
It's most like it's the same song.
Yeah. And he does that little dance where they do like this.
Yeah.
So he
Ninja Turtle. I think is that the second Ninja Turtles or the first one? No, it's the second one.
It's the second one. It's Secret of the Use. I did have that on VHS.
Classic.
And I watched it many times.
Kershawn.
Kershawn is
Bay Area, right?
Is she the one? Man, I think I might be confusing her with like Be Nasty, but they're like part of that crew. I think, aren't they affiliated in some way? Is she the one that does like Fendi, Fendi, Gucci, Gucci,
That's her.
Prada?
That's her. That's her. I see that she's still trying to rap, which is crazy, but that is her.
Oh, okay.
I used to hate that song when it first came out. I'm not gonna hold you.
I mean, there's a lot of songs like that that it's the same thing with like I know we're gonna eventually get to like Lil Pump, but like Gucci Gang, it's like a song like that where you're just saying some nonsense, and it either has a bounce to it or it doesn't.
Somebody broke down the lyrics and said that she's actually saying something. Like pretty much
Okay.
saying like those brands like I'm not even gonna go into it, but it's pretty much talking about like the girls who like those brands are like weird and some stuff like that. And they're like they're really saying something. I was like, I'm not gonna listen to that song to analyze it one bit. I'm just glad
Okay.
we don't ever hear her no more.
Mm.
Black Tie trash. Ron
Yeah.
Artest is super disrespectful, but Ron Artest definitely not a good
Mm.
rapper.
Yeah. I honestly don't remember listening to any of his songs or if he even had more than one song. But he was on Celebrity Big Brother.
Oh gosh.
I don't know if you saw that season. I actually probably the only season I even watched it, like because it just popped on and I don't know if that was during the beginning of COVID or not, but yeah, Ron Artest seemed like such a like nice guy in the context of that show, where in the way he spoke, I was like, it wasn't like he was slow, but he was like very like almost like childlike in a way, where he like I don't know. He probably did like after being in a bunch of fights that were,
Oh, for sure.
like
For
televised.
sure.
That he probably was like, I got to reshape my image and make sure people think I'm like the nicest guy ever. So I couldn't imagine him being a very good rapper and not be like fluffy.
You know what? Let me take it back. He did that one song, Moment of Silence for the Champion, after they won the NBA Finals. That song is not too bad. I mean, he's
Okay.
definitely not a great rapper, but that song is not too bad. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
That song is not too bad, but definitely he do belong on this list. Wyatt Lucci,
YFN Lucci.
I think he's that. I'm not gonna make the sound, but apparently he does this weird sound on the song. He's definitely on this list. He's
Okay.
he's definitely on this list. Shaq. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I like Shaq. I think Shaq's a good dude, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Them ABCD rhymes, y'all gotta stop hyping up. Okay, Shaq is when he had like this weird like rap battle back and forth with Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard can act. Shaq definitely is like, I'm gonna go to the mall, then I'm gonna ball. And like, so we're not gonna do that. I'm not.
Let's make it for those of you who want to know how good of a rapper Shaq is. Watch the movie Kazam. You've seen the movie.
Stop it. Get some help.
Kazam as well. I am Kazam. Like this. Yeah, we're not gonna do it. Shaq definitely belong on this list. We like Shaq.
Yeah, of course.
Riff Raff belongs on this list. Nick Cannon definitely belongs on this.
Yeah, and it sucks too because like I don't even like hate Nick Cannon, but I can't think of a Nick Cannon song that really. I mean, unfortunately, wait, was he?
Gigolo.
Oh wow, yeah, I forgot about Gigolo. Um, I'm thinking of somebody else.
He had a
I think
song
it's
with B2K too.
wait, is Cassidy on here?
I think Cassidy is on here.
Is Cassidy the one that has that song R.
Cassidy's on
Kelly
here.
Hotel with R. Kelly?
I think so.
Okay, for a second in my head, I thought that was Nick Cannon, but I don't know why I thought that. Um, but yeah, I don't remember Nick Cannon. I remember him trying to rap against Eminem too during that whole back and forth, and it being because I think
Terrible.
that might have been during LimeWire days where I got to hear that, and I was like, ooh, yeah, you're not on the same playing field.
Yeah, Nick Cannon not good. I think he's next to Playboy Cardi, who's also not good. The
Yeah,
young
it's
the,
weird.
the young generation loves Playboy Cardi. I don't know
I was
why
gonna
they put him
say
on
I've
this
seen a lot
pedestal,
of
but I just don't get it.
yeah, I've seen people like say he's yeah, like you said, like put him on a pedestal, but I don't think I've ever heard any of his songs to really judge him. But I think I heard like a snippet or something on like a YouTube short or something, and I was like, this does not sound good at all.
Nope. I don't know who OG Marco is.
Yeah.
Uh, don't disrespect Mike Jones. Who?
Yeah.
Don't disrespect Mike Jones.
And that's the thing, what I said earlier, where I was like, there's some people where it's like they're not bad, they just fell off. You know, no one's listening to
Sure.
them. Like, and Mike Jones, like, he wasn't. Hey, Mike Jones is one of the few people to like repeat something and it still kind of like not be like how I was saying Kanye repeats, is starting to repeat stuff
For
like
sure.
where on the end of a verse and then just like, all right, Kanye, you just sound like you forgot what else to say and you needed to make it to the part where it's the actual hook starting. But Mike Jones did that on a few tracks, and I felt like it made sense for him.
Sure. Birdman. Yeah, Birdman belongs on this list.
Absolutely,
Birdman belongs on this list. I can just think
I
of what's that one song?
is we done or is we finished?
uh,
I messed up the quote, but
what do you say? On We Taking Over.
is that a Khaled track?
It is.
Yeah,
No, it's not We Taking Over.
we taking over. Something. I know what you're talking about.
No, it's not that song. He's it's a different song. No, it's I'm So Hood. I'm So Hood. Now we taking over. I'm So Hood, where he
Oh,
starts the verse. Martin Luther King. What?
oh man, I forgot about that.
He said Martin Luther King. Khaled something for me, and it didn't even make any sense for him why he would say Martin Luther King.
Yeah, and he kind of just like talks more than raps, I feel like.
Absolutely.
Because he's on a Lil Wayne song. It might be it's not BM Jr. like Birdman Jr. or something, but it's another song in that time frame where like he kind of fit the song a little bit, but like I remember not knowing who Birdman was at the time and just being like, man, this guy sucks compared to Lil Wayne. I was like,
Then he had this moment where he kept saying popping bottles like championship rings in like 5 songs. And then he has another song like Out the Ghetto, where he comes on and just the most forgetful verse ever. It just there. Just yeah, you belong on this list. We already talked about Bone Crush. We're not gonna talk about them. Iggy Azalea. Yeah, Iggy's definitely on this list. I don't think we're gonna debate.
I would say that she can hit the mark, you know, like technically she can like do what is rapping, but as I got old, not older, but like as I kind of, because you know when we talk about like logic and getting into the whole like being in that gray area of like uh not being having the appeal, like straddling the line or whatever with her, it
Yeah,
was almost like weird when you realize she's Australian, right?
sure.
So, so she so she's kind of doing like a black scent, and
Yeah, she
then
is.
she did this like who did she did was it Snoop? Who did she say? Who did she talk down bad about? Some OG. She said something negative about somebody, and like Ti had to do some damage control. It's like
Yeah, for sure. He had to keep doing damage control for her. Like,
yeah.
oh, she did that freestyle on Sway, and somebody called in and said that was trash.
Oh man, not even that, just that, but that clip that went viral with the boo bop bop the boo bop bop she's like
Yeah, it's trash.
yeah, but she
Trash.
can rap. She just it's
She
a lot
can.
of red flag. It's a lot of red flags with her. So
She had us stuck to her niche and just let it stayed with like the female crowd, she would have been still relevant. I think she
mhm,
just really wanted to prove herself to everybody else, and they weren't having it, so it didn't
no,
work out. Trinidad James. I don't think Trinidad James is trash. It's just he's just not interesting.
I can't remember. Is he the one that's on that little Dicky with Fetty Wap? Save That Money? Is that Trinidad James on there?
Yeah, he's on there. I think.
He does like a quick verse, and that's like kind of the joke too, because Lil Dicky's like, we couldn't afford a whole verse. Something like
Yeah,
that.
he's on that. He's on that. He does sound dope on that Work remix by ASAP Ferg. He sound dope on that, and then he does Goldie, gold all in my chain, gold all in my.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's
So
pretty much it.
yeah,
Man.
it's like he's okay, but yeah, I can understand why he would be here.
For sure. We talked about Lil Pump. He deserves to be on here.
Mm-hmm.
McConan, he got destroyed by the OVO sweatshop.
It,
He's the
he's a
remember.
okay. Real quick, I'm gonna say what I think is McConan. You correct
Okay.
me. Is he the one that's like, I'm blowing up on a
Yep.
Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
That's not even rap. I thought he was.
Apparently, he's a
like
rapper.
Singer.
Apparently, he's a rapper. Apparently, his sound was Yachty's sound, but then Yachty like took over the sound. Apparently, the auto tune rap,
Oh, wow.
rap melody thing, whatever they want to call it.
Yachty's much better at it, so that's fine.
Then I guess Yachty wanted to do a song with him, but he was like, "Nah." So
Okay.
it is what it is. Is that Tony Yayo?
Yeah, I don't think that anybody from G Unit is necessarily bad. It's just 50 Cent's better.
Yeah,
I
pretty much.
wouldn't put him on a 50 worst rappers list.
Gutta Gutta's here. We talked about him. No one knows where he is anymore. What? Webby. Oh, Webby has some hits though.
What's Webby's song?
I can't even think about it. So I guess he does deserve.
Well, no,
I know
he definitely
some
had
songs
like a song
though.
or two. This is like probably early high school.
Yeah, he was in that Cash Money era where they was definitely doing stuff. But I don't remember a Webby song on the top of the dome.
Dang, I don't remember either.
Yeah, it's gonna have to come to us. Chingy, don't disrespect Chingy. Right there.
Yeah.
Holiday Inn.
Yeah, Chingy's more just like kind of like someone who had like a real hot summer or two. I feel like he maybe had like 2 years where he had like at least one hit per year and then kind of just faded after that. But I wouldn't say Chingy was bad.
Chingy was in that time period, if y'all don't know, where there were certain people from different areas that were super hot. And so if you came up and you're starting to get that hot, that person who had that top spot, they would just beef with you. So Chingy was from St. Louis, I believe. Nelly already had St. Louis. So they had a little issue because, you know, Nelly already had the spot and Chingy was kind of coming up. Kind of like when Jay-Z pretty much was killing at the moment, and then he was beefing with, not, I don't say beefing, but he would always jump on somebody else's song or say something about it. So like Mims had a song like "This Is Why I'm Hot," and I guess some people took offense part, and then Jen Jones had his ball in, and then, you know, Jay-Z had to jump on the ball and say anybody who said they was like the king of New York or coming up in New York or Brooklyn or something like that, Jay-Z had something to say. So I just thought that's like Houston had that kind of issue with like Lil Flip. Is Lil Flip there to be on this list?
Nah,
Flip definitely deserves.
You say he deserves to be on it.
He deserves to be on this list.
He had the
treat you like milk. I'll do nothing but spoil you.
Oh wow, he got sued, right, by like Atari or something.
Did he?
Didn't his song "Game Over"? He used the Pac-Man sounds without permission.
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure.
And then he's on a feature with I think it's Chameleonaire. I think it's Turn Your Shine On or something. I think that's the one. Yeah, he's not very good, but I just don't remember him like killing the song or anything.
T.I. did a diss track against him using 99 Problems. Fire. Who else is on here? We talked about Earl Sweatshirt. He don't deserve to be on here.
No.
Don't disrespect Freeway. Freeway can rap. like Freeway can rap. Don't disrespect Freeway. Do you remember? Do you know a Freeway song?
I only remember him from Two Words with Kanye and Mos Def.
Okay, sorry. He had Flip Side. He had What We Do. What We Do is a classic. What We Do is a classic. When the heat stopped working and then I'ma rob me a person. Catch me. That's fine. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna disrespect Freeway. Ludacris, we're not gonna disrespect.
No.
Cassidy. I don't know. From what I hear, Cassidy kind of did himself in. I don't. He was in like the BMF song, I believe, and the one song you mentioned before. I don't think Cassidy is. I just don't think Cassidy has a good body of work at all.
I only remember Hotel with R. Kelly, so he'll die with that feature.
The concert, the I remember Hotel with R. Kelly was crazy work. Designer. Okay, you could put Designer on this list.
Yeah.
I was so hoping for Designer.
Yeah, because he's one of those people that's got like a unique voice, and even though people said he sounded like Future, I still thought he kind of had his own style. But yeah, he just did Panda and disappeared.
For sure. We're not gonna disrespect Bow Wow on this. Don't disrespect Bow Wow, okay? You sell do-rags, Bow Wow. We're not gonna disrespect Bow
Wow. Well, maybe Bow Wow could be on this list, but not Lil Bow Wow.
Bow Wow got hits. Bow Wow had his run. Bow Wow had his run. I think that the social media age puts Bow Wow on this top 50 list because of the L's he has taken numerous of times. But Bow Wow definitely selling do-rags, but Bow Wow is definitely not one of the 50 worst. His run when he was younger to now I mean, he had a tough run.
Oh yeah.
Flow Rider makes party music.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve to be on here for that reason alone.
He makes party music. He's a really buff dude that makes party music. So that, I mean, he's not. Yeah. Don't disrespect Chief Keef. Don't disrespect Sosa. Chief Keef had a deep run. Chief Keef had a moment. Chief Keef had a 21 Savage moment where everybody wanted to be gangster when they listened to Chief Keef, and everybody thought they was doing something. He had definitely a moment where he took over. Like I think his album "Finally Famous." I think was it called "Finally Famous"? I don't remember. Chief Keef had a moment.
That album title sounds familiar, but I don't know if that was him. I'm spacing out.
Sean.
Though. Yeah,
Big Sean Finally Famous?
That's what I was thinking. That's a Big Sean.
Chief Keef, it was called something, but that Chief Keef Don't Like and all that. If Kanye has to do a remix to your song, it's massive. Like Don't Like was crazy good. Yeah, we're not gonna put because Chief Keef had Finito. He had a bunch of stuff. He had like hood anthems, so we're not gonna do that to him. We talked about Plies. Plies had an era. French Montana definitely deserves to be on this list, especially for that one song he made. That Unforgettable song was supposed to be his like Grammy song that's supposed to like put him to the upper echelon. When he said on an interview that song was about his parents and how his parents migrated for him to be successful, he dedicated that song to his parents. And then he said just like there's a part of the song where he's talking about getting some or some stuff like that. He says something weird on there. So it's hard for me to listen to that song saying that you dedicate it to your parents and then you talking about a vagina.
Son, we love the part where you sing, but the guy that's rapping on there that you featured is bad.
Like it's like my God, come to me. It's a Lil Wayne. Is it a Lil Wayne or is it Rick Ross? It's one of those where like Wayne, I think it was Wayne. He talks about how like I wish I knew the verse on top of the dome. But pretty much he's like shouting out his mom or shouting out Yeah, I think he's shouting at his mom or something. And then the next verse, the next line, he's talking about how the vagina was good. And I was like, yo, those two being right next to each other is absolutely diabolical. Like, no one
Yeah.
told you, like, maybe we should, because, like that close to each other. If I find the song, I will send it to you.
But
It's
you're
like,
saying it's French Montana that said this.
it's Lil Wayne who said that. But on this French
Oh, okay.
Montana song, it gives me that vibe because he's like, I dedicate this to my parents. And then, like, the song lyrics, I'm like, hey, man, maybe not. And then we have, who else is on it? I don't know who.
It
Lime
says
Jimmy?
Slim.
Oh,
Yeah, Jay.
Slim Jimmy. He gets
Oh, is
short end
that
of the
the
stick when it comes
other?
to,
Is that the other Ray Strummer?
yeah. They definitely put Sway Lee over him all the time.
Well, I feel like it's not even fair to compare them
Nah,
because Sway Lee is like a more of a singer than a rapper, and he's obviously got an amazing ear for like melody and being able to. I mean, if he is like making up all the hooks himself or whatever, I mean, that's honestly without Sway Lee, that group is dead in the water.
yeah. His verse on Sativa is fire though. You
Ooh,
said YG don't belong on here. Oh, Slim Jimmy.
oh, okay. I have to listen to that.
Yeah,
You
his verse on
skipped
Sativa is fire.
you skipped Memphis Bleak.
Oh, Memphis Bleak. Yeah, Memphis Bleak. Early 2000 rapper. We not
He
we not gonna remember none of his work. I'm not gonna lie to you.
he's
I wouldn't say he's
he's
terrible, but I don't remember his work.
I feel like because I did listen to one Memphis Bleak album that my uncle actually had burned a copy of. Um,
Burned a
it's the
copy.
one with it's the one with Round
Showing your
Here
age.
on it. Yeah, I know. Wow, dude, that's the only reason why I even listened to some hip hop back then because my uncle. I don't want to. It's been more than 7 years. The statute of limitations is over. He used to go to Target and get a CD and burn it, and then return it to the store and say, "Hey, the CD wasn't working. I need to get another one." And then he would go to the shelf where they had all those CDs. He would take the stack of the CDs in the store, go hide them somewhere else, and then be like, "Hey, they're sold out. Let me just get store credit." You could just buy
That's
another one.
crazy. He had
But
the
yeah, hey
unlimited
man,
music.
pretty much. But he did give me a Memphis Bleak, and I think that the main single from that Memphis Bleak album was on Madden as well. I'm not 100% sure, but it's called Round Here. I
Okay.
don't know if you remember the song, but he claims on the intro to that album that he's been in the game since Atari. So Memphis Bleak's trying to act like he's been rapping since the '80s. So maybe in some circles he's an OG, but I mean he's fine. It's whatever.
For sure. What's left? YG, we say don't belong on here. Tyga had a good run. I'm not a huge Tiger fan, so for sure, he belongs on here.
Yeah, he's like kind of one of those guys where if like he just happens to show up and it's just a really good beat and it's gonna be a catchy ass song, he doesn't ruin the song, but he don't add nothing to it, you
For
know,
sure,
like
he really don't
taste
add nothing to it.
and yeah, he don't yeah, you never listen all the Tiger songs that are hits, like I said, he just walked in and just said, Hey, can just any rapper come in here? Like anyone could have done a better job, but he just didn't ruin the song.
Yeah, I've never heard somebody. Hey, put that new Tiger on. Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Logic. We talked about Logic. He's not bad. He's also not the best, but he's definitely that mid tier. So he's fine. And then last but not least, we have 21 Savage, which I don't think he deserves to be on this list.
Nah.
Look at that. We went through the whole 50. What's your final statements, my friend? What do you think about this list? Good, bad, trash?
It's just there's a little bit of inconsistency. Like I
For
said, there's
sure.
some people where it's like I don't understand how you put both these names, and the main one was I think it was how you gonna put Ludacris here if you put I forget who was the other guy I said, but it's like it don't really make sense. Um, so, but yeah, I mean, there's some people here who are absolute trash. And I'm trying to think because, like you said, how you mentioned if Big Sean, if this was like 5 years ago, you might have put him on this list. there's some people who, certain amount of time ago, I also would have put on the list, or certain eras in, like at one point in time, if you had asked me like, 15 years ago who I thought like the worst rapper was, I probably would have said like Soldier Boy or something. I
He
also
ain't even on this
like,
list, which is crazy.
yeah, and and if you ask IT, he single-handedly killed hip hop. So, um, but yeah, I can't think of anybody else that's like really jumping to the front of my mind of like who needs to be here. And that's what I was trying to think about when we were doing this. Like, who's not here that absolutely needs to be here? And Soldier Boy was really one of the only people that I thought of.
Let's do it. Next episode, I want you to bring your 5 people who should have been on this list, and I'll bring my 5.
Okay. So instead of top 5, we're doing bottom 5.
So that is the episode, y'all. We talked about the top 50 worst rappers, this list that came in. Do you agree with this list? Do you not agree with this list? Again, you can listen to all these episodes everywhere you hear your podcast. You can see the video on YouTube. Again, you can catch me on a Sneakerhead and Budget on Instagram, or the real Mike Peasy on Twitter or X or whatever you call it. Daniel, tell them where they can find you at, my friend.
You can find me on at least Instagram, and I don't know what else. Heavyset89.
There we go. And we'll catch you guys next time on the Shout Out to You show. I appreciate y'all for listening. Peace. Let's see if I can pick the right sound to send us out. Let me see. I'll take it. I'll take it.